Do you know what it's like to put every ounce of energy into something and then flop miserably? Do you know what it's like to do your best and discover that your best just isn't good enough? Do you know what it's like wait for something good in your life to grow and then wait and wait and wait? That day when Jesus was sitting in the boat in the middle of the sea, he was speaking to a worn out crowd that just felt just like that. His followers had been working hard, really hard, to share the good news, but the message wasn't sinking in. Here they were, going from town to town, sharing Jesus' life-saving message that justice is attainable, that there are key values like kindness and generosity that if lived collectively could save the world. Yet despite their important message, everywhere they went, they brushed up against people who were too preoccupied, too bored, too self-centered, or too stressed to listen. Each time a door slammed in their face, their discouragement ramped up. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Even though Jesus was sitting in the middle of the sea, it's like he could see into the very hearts of those gathered that day. And in that calm, reassuring voice of his, he told them stories to help them understand themselves and make sense of their life. One of them was the parable of the sower. Some seeds will fall on the path and birds will eat them. Some will fall on rock and the sun will scorch them. Some will fall on thorns and be choked out. But some will fall on good soil and bear an unbelievable crop. The parable of the sower was a pep talk of sorts. It wasn't the kind you would hear in the locker room, though. It wasn't about how great Jesus' followers were or how they would succeed at every turn. It was realistic. Some of the work you do is going to feel like a waste of time. Some of it will even be sabotaged. But keep going, because there will be success. Trust me, live your mission. This is a millennia-old message that we still need to hear, especially on World Food Sunday. 690 million people will go to bed hungry tonight. Think about that. 690 million people aren't asking, what will we eat for dinner? No, 690 million people are asking, will we eat dinner? And they ask that question night after night. Hunger is so pervasive that you'd think the whole earth was made of dust, that no crops could grow anywhere. But we know there's nothing wrong with Mother Nature. The problem lies in the choices we make for her. Poverty, land grabbing, climate change, the commodification of food and water, conflict and political instability. The causes of hunger are so complex, so intertwined, so systemic. It's natural to wonder how you and I are ever really going to make a difference. It's like we're standing on that shore right along with Jesus' disciples, and there are problems as big as the sea itself right in front of us. And even Jesus is sitting there admitting that addressing hunger is not easy. He doesn't sugarcoat the outcome of our work. Some seeds just aren't going to land where we need them or to create the results that we want. But, Jesus says, some seeds will fall on good soil and the result will be phenomenal. So live your mission. Jesus got into the boat that day and rowed into the sea so he could look at the whole crowd at once. So his voice would carry across the water to reach each and every one of them so that they would take his parable to heart and hear him say, live your mission. One of the ways we live our mission as a united church is by sharing what we have through our collective mission and service. As a united church, we endorse the principles of food sovereignty, the right of people to healthy and culturally appropriate food produced through ecologically sound and sustainable methods, and their right to define their own food and agriculture systems. We believe that food is a sacred gift from God, manna from heaven. No one should go hungry. That's why from coast to coast in Canada, our generosity supports community kitchens and meal programs, food cupboards, shelters, job training programs, community gardens, and healthy food programs. Internationally, we send food in times of crisis. We distribute seeds, fund agricultural training programs and micro-lending programs, and support projects that help small-scale farmers access equipment that they need, and in some instances, build infrastructure so that they can transport their food to market. We work with partners like ACT, that's Alliance and Canadian Food Grains Bank, to move beyond the charity model by helping to work toward long-term systemic change through respectful partnerships. It's true that we're not going to solve all the problems of the world, but for some people, our support means the world. Some of you might know a story the United Church's Philanthropy Unit shared not so long ago about a young Canadian named Jesse. When he was 12 years old, Jesse had a traumatic brain injury. His life instantly changed because his brain didn't function the way it once did. By the time he was 17, Jesse was hospitalized 32 times. Through the ups and downs, his mother took care of him. She was his rock. And then, sadly, 3 years ago, she died of cancer. Without his mother, Jesse's life spiraled out of control. 2 years ago, he survived the painfully cold winter, sleeping in a storage unit. Then he went to Stella's Circle, a mission and service partner, where he was fed, received help to find a home, and took a greenhouse technician college program. Today, Jesse is leading a new social enterprise that grows food for sale. One day, Jesse hopes to supply restaurants with the produce that he and others grow. What does work mean for him? Jesse says that work means maintaining my independence. It means building confidence. It means instilling purpose. It makes me feel functional. This is what happens when seeds of generosity fall on good soil. Another story, this one stretching from Canada to Japan and then on to Kenya. In Kenya, more than 850,000 children have been orphaned due to HIV/AIDS. Some estimates are even higher. Here is Emmanuel Baya's story.
1 in 9 people around the world go to bed hungry each night. Emmanuel Baya is changing the face of hunger in his community.
My name is Emmanuel Karisa Baya, and I come from Magarini sub-county in Kilifi County. I was in ARI in 2009.
ARI, Asian Rural Institute, is an agricultural training center your mission and service gifts support. ARI taught Emmanuel skills that helped him develop his children's center and farm.
We train the community on organic farming. So at Magarini Children's Center, we protect and take care of the soil.
Emmanuel lost his parents when he was a child. His heart stirred when he saw children orphaned because of the HIV/AIDS crisis under the cashew trees near his property, too busy looking for food to go to school.
We have been taking care of orphan and vulnerable children in providing them with basic needs, including education.
Today, over 287 children attend the Children's Center, and the demonstration farm serves 7 communities.
We have realized that as we take care of the soil, we take care of ourselves. As we take care of the land, we take care of the children, we take care of the people, and this brings love to the community.
Your gifts support extraordinary leaders like Emmanuel to develop life-changing potential. Make a gift through mission and service today. Together, we can make a difference.
690 million people will be going hungry tonight. But Jesse and Emmanuel and all the people in their communities that they support and the thousands of people that mission and service partners help aren't among them. That's because they are amazing people and they are supported by amazing people like you. This is what happens when we live our mission. Living God's mission is planting seeds, is like planting seeds. Each seed contains the basic material needed to pull off a miracle. And like Jesus says, when they hit good dirt, miracles grow. Thank you for your mission and service. Thank you for taking Jesus' stories into your heart and letting them transform your lives. Thank you for standing on the shoreline like disciples have for millennia, listening to the parable and the sower. Now, let's get to work planting seeds. Let's live our mission. Let's pray. God, you give us all a mission to love others in this world. Help us to live the mission of what you call us to do so that we each make this world a better place for others to live. Amen.